Hey folks, morning. Well, it's morning for me. I don't know when you're watching it, but I'm out here at the field. Um, it is kind of a little bit foggy. You can see the fog kind of settling in. Not the greatest on video, however, it's there. But I got something for you. Something really kind of cool. Something you might not know anything about. I think you might. We got the Airwolf. So, Carmanon reached out to me, and they have a new bird. This is their third bird in a series. I originally did a review on the Huey because there's some skin in the game on the Huey with me, as I worked on Hueys most of my Marine Corps career, or like the second half of my Marine Corps career was mostly all Hueys and F-18 support. Anyway, they reached out to me after that and wanted me to take a look at that Kawhi, which is not a Marine Corps bird at all, more of an Army thing. But I was glad to do so. It was a great flying bird, just like the Huey was. Identical and all of that stuff. And now we're here to something even more, like they're on this nostalgic theme, right? So we got the Airwolf, the legend begins. Got this little paper. Hey, from the Carmanon crew. Like, this is such a personal touch. Like, they probably did just get this from the other people who are doing this same aircraft at the time, but they take the time and they're really good. They're really detailed. Like, after talking back and forth with them a couple of times, they're interested in the nostalgia. And that's what this kind of, you can see this. RC nerds obsessed with the two thing. Yeah, like, hey, you could read this up, and like, basically I don't want to waste too much of your time with it, but they're definitely nostalgic. That's their focus, and I think it's actually pretty cool. You just got a white kind of manual. You ain't gonna go in. It's gonna have some safety precautions. It's gonna show you some stuff. Computer, plug up your battery, got all your motor unlock, all of your controls, gyroscope calibration, so you know how to do that in mode 2. You can hold one stick up and you can hold the other stick down to the other way. 2 to 3 seconds during the aircraft indicator light will flash yellow and change to solid green. We might do that. Aircraft locking, first flight, control board, main. Wow, I never seen that in real life, so that's cool. They show you a picture of a manual flight, pitch settings. All right, that's it. They don't really have a true thing about one key landing manual flight. They don't cover most of the time in these manuals about that upside down feature, but I think this one's gonna have it. Oh, on top of this, it's different from the other ones, is your Airwolf placard to display on your shelf, or your your shelving unit in your living room, because this thing is gonna be, oh yeah. This thing is cool. Look at that. Look at that, folks. I never looked at it. I had the box, but I never really truly looked at it. Look at the guns. Oh my goodness, this is so cool. Look at that. I'm sorry, folks, if I'm giggling here, but it's pretty cool. I'm gonna pop a battery on the charger right away. I quickly plugged it in, but I just wanted to kind of cover you something. So, like, this is a USB-C, and my device is powered on. When I plug it into here, it's a USB-C to C, and I get no activity. But I suspect as soon as I plug this in, and I have come across a bunch of devices like this. I don't know where that distinction is. I might maybe need to do a little research on my own just so I understand why. But some devices with a USB-A out the box kind of setup won't charge on a USB-C to C. It'll only charge on an A to C. So this is the case for this one. So if you put yours on and you don't see any lights going on, know that it's not charging, it's not doing anything. You gotta get the A to C that it came with, or a similar A to C, to kind of get that going. I'm gonna grab us some batteries and get this thing powered up. Alright, got the batteries in. Everything looks kind of familiar. No buttons up top except for the lock unlock button. So we're gonna go into locked. Alright, I'm gonna press this. Comes on a beep. We got low high. We got the automatic landing. I don't know what that up, screw pitch is. We got the ground sensing. We got manual, and we got this mode button. We got that flipped over Huey button, or flipped over Airwolf button in this case. You got 2 batteries. I had to get into here for the USB, but I'll cover what's in here. You got some cool Airwolf stickers. You got another tail. You got a screwdriver to manipulate that, and some mains. All right. Get this put down. Got something else in here. What is this? What is this? Oh, some rear stabilizers, I would imagine. Let us see. No screws in the bag. I don't know. Let me look at the directions for this. Alright, after further evaluation, you see a little cutout there. Some stuff like that, I apologize. If you're looking at it on the video, you're probably pointing it out yourself instantly. But when you're trying to look with the screen in front of you, you are not going to see that kind of stuff. These probably could get glued in or something. I don't know. But I think the whole point of this is that these are exaggerated and large, and it won't fit in the box with them on. So you're going to have to leave them loose in order to be able to manipulate them while coming, from inside the box and out. All right, let's get the battery. I'm gonna turn this remote off. I had the remote on that whole time. Disconnect my battery. It's been kind of unusual to figure it out at the beginning stages of using one of these as far as the battery seatment, but let's see. This one's a tight fit. All right, gives you nowhere to kind of mess it up. All right, I'm gonna get it to the point where I think it goes in. I'm gonna hold both of these buttons, and then I'm gonna lock them out, because that's been one thing. I thought you could push it in and snap it. You cannot push these in and snap them. You got to release it like that. All right, go ahead and get this fired up. All right, and then I'm going to power on the bird. All right, get that fired up. We should get some lights. All right, it's blinking. Now I turn green. I'm going to do those calibration with the sticks. All right, it did something there. So it is now ready to go. It's locked, so it won't do anything. It's unlocked, so it will do something. Go ahead and get this puppy in the air. I might go all the way out to the runway just so I could do one of those automatic landings, but so cool. Look at those guns. This is crazy. These are so detailed. I always try to get you a close look at it, I mean, it is shiny. It is cool. Just sweet, I guess. Detail alert. Look at those thrusters. This is so cool. This is so cool. Very cool to see. Very cool to be able to manipulate here. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna hold the sticks down and out. Fire it right on up. The white tips on the blade are so cool. All right, let's get it off the ground. All right, I've had this situation with them before where it's kind of a little bit weird when you get going to take off, and you don't know if it's going to take off at some point. All right, get a little bit more altitude so you're not getting green. And that's it, folks. That fairy tale type, in my opinion, hovering ability is so cool because you're just not used to that. If you grew up in RC and you always wanted one of these cool helicopters and you get one, and man, those suckers are so hard to fly that you couldn't do it, or you did and it just wasn't this cool. You couldn't make a video of it. You'd have to be hands-on the full time. So I think that's probably some of the main beauty of these, is that you have that. Now the bird just kind of did a little movement, but I mean, I'm hovering for a long time, so you know, you can't expect this thing to last forever in that one spot like that. All right, I got the I'm gonna go from low to high. All right, and I'm gonna just drive it around a little bit. Yeah, it looks so cool. It drives like the others. Same kind of maneuverability, same kind of predictability in the flight envelope of it. It is pretty fast. So you got to kind of watch yourself like that. If you got something in front of you and you're going too fast, you might have, yeah, I'm sorry for being overhead. It's so fast that you kind of can't even tell it's going to be there that quickly. So it's on the second rate and it's fast. But to be honest with you, in my experience, they're all fast. And even on the first rate, you can see those lights in the back where the thrusters are. Let's see. Oh man, I don't know if y'all can see it like I can, but it just went backwards for some reason, and I was only in forward movement, so. Look at those thrusters. That is cool. All right. I'm gonna get it a little further out so y'all can see it. I'm gonna get it to the maximum flight. That's the maximum flight. I'm maxed out. It won't go any higher. It's on this ground sensing setting. Turn that off. All right. Instantly I can go higher. And trying to find it on film. Now it still doesn't do anything, even though you're in this manual mode. It doesn't do anything that won't allow you to control the aircraft, or basically to crash the aircraft. You're still going to be able to not flip over or something like a real heli would do and cause you to crash. So that's a positive. Let me come back down, because I want to make sure I'm on camera, and it's kind of hard to see right now. I ain't gonna lie to you. All right, so I'm in there. There we go. All right, I'm gonna get above the flight envelope. I'm gonna push this manual button over, and I'm gonna push over. All right, I didn't have anything right. I'm gonna make sure I'm in high. I'm gonna push it over, hold it, and nothing. Let me get a little bit higher. Push it over. All right, I'm not getting it, so don't know if this bird doesn't do it. Let's see, put it in one, hold it. And I gotta keep it kind of in front of me because I don't want you guys to not be able to see it. But on the flip side, I don't want to go over that fence because it's so aggravating when you got to go over that fence. I have had to do so. All right. There's not too much wind, but it is drifting while it's in the manual mode. All right, manual mode. Push the button. All right, I'm not getting nothing. Manual mode. High. Yeah, I'm not getting the flip over feature at all with this bird. Maybe it's limited and doesn't do it. I'm gonna try a bit off camera so I don't waste so much of your time. All right, folks, so I started getting my customary low battery beep now at this point. I could not get it to flip over. I'm gonna try some more and see what I can figure out, but I did it like 15 or 20 times trying to get it to do it on its own, you know, the flip over thingy, but I couldn't get that to happen. And I noticed these kind of, let me see. Okay, there's only one light on the battery. Usually these things kind of start saying low battery when they're, the other ones anyway, when they're kind of still. And I'm gonna hit it. They're weird on shutdown. You definitely got to hit the lock button to stop it from wanting to fish around and stuff. But overall, very cool flight. I'm a little bit disappointed in the flight though. You get one light back when you land. That's what I'm saying. That's a lot of battery to be still landing with. So nobody's gonna want to fly with it because that this annoying beep that you get with the remote. So you're probably gonna come in for that beep no matter what you're doing. But there's your Airwolf, man. I mean, this thing is cool. I think I got to figure out the whole flip over thing. Of course, they don't cover that in the manual, but I'll see if they do. You know, some people came back with a lot of comments on the first one about read the manual. And then when they did read the manual, they realize what I'm talking about. The manual doesn't really cover this, not in any detail anyway. If it does, it's just like a picture and not a mention. So I'm going to get into that and let you guys know. Motor lock visual. Toggle button left to right to turn. Mode 1, mode 2. Large rubber volume manual mode. Yeah, they don't cover flipping over at all. Finding. So, all right, second flight on the Airwolf. You got your lights, you got your thrusters. Let's see, we got our red light and green light. I'm gonna try to attempt to flip it over again. Somebody showed up to the field, so he's gonna give me a hand on filming it while I try to figure this out. And you could zoom in with the screen when it's up there, so you're not such a small speck. Because I'm gonna have to go high to try out this flip over jobby. All right, here we go. Yeah, it's a little unpredictable on takeoff. Don't be giving it too much inputs. I was trying to see if I could get it to roll on the wheels, which would be very, very cool. But yeah, it won't roll very well. It'll start tipping before it rolls. And I think that's what this is most best for. This cool scale flight that I probably couldn't get while I was filming it myself. So I'm glad somebody came and is gonna film it for me in this close proximity kind of look with it. All right, so the green light is on. I'm gonna go to my maximum ceiling, and that's it. I pull up, bird won't go any higher. I'm gonna click the manual on side of that, and I'm gonna get up higher, and I'm super high. I'm gonna hold this to the right, and right input, nothing. I'm gonna hold this to the left, right input, nothing. I'm gonna hold this to the right again, left input, nothing. I don't know, folks. I'm trying every maneuver that I've done. I'm gonna go into high rate, which is a double click. I'll hold it to the right. It beeped. Oh, and it flipped, folks. I don't know what I was doing on the first flight. Maybe I just didn't have a cameraman. And now, just like the Huey and the Chloe, we are upside down. How cool is it? When I was coming up in my RC days of flying, I left airplanes alone and was more focused on helicopters. For some odd reason, helicopters were easier to fly than me. And of course, I was only flying fixed pitch stuff at that time, and I kind of worked into selective pitch. Now, this thing is like in a manual type mode right now, where I have to give some input just to keep it still like that. It's not very stable upside down as it is right side up. Obviously, I can't sense the ground if I'm upside down. But there you go. So the beauty of this is, compared to a real RC helicopter, is you would have to have your inputs reversed right now if you're in a regular helicopter. I don't. I'm just flying like I would if it was right side up. And that's where the beauty of this comes in. So you don't have to be some heli expert. And I've been in this a long time, and there's a lot of those heli guys, and they can be really into it, and they get those things flipping and spinning and all kinds of stuff. I don't know if I ever want to get to that level. That's not my thing right now anyway. But just to see this flipped over like that is very cool. And that Airwolf body style is also very cool. And I hate to be a little so jerky like I am, but I'm not an everyday heli pilot, so So you can fly it around. It's very controllable, upside down or right side up. Which is crazy, folks, but all right, I am going to bring the tilt, bring it this way a little bit, and maybe some back so I don't go so far away. All right, I am going to, now it's in some wind up there, so I'm having to give a lot, like full stick movement. I'm gonna hold this down again and flip it. And I don't know what was going on before. Maybe I had to initiate it with a second battery or something. But now it flips over both ways quite easily. And it is so fast, like it's faster than I would want it to be honest with you. So it's tiny, so I know the video is not gonna be the best on this. But that's some flying it around kind of, whoa, it didn't want to rudder there for a second. So let me see if I can get it back to us. And it gets so fast, so quickly. That is unreal. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring it in. That's all I need to kind of point out on this. This thing is cool. It's stable, it's fun, it's easy to fly. I think anybody with any kind of, it's gonna be dangerous for a little kid, let's be real. You don't wanna stick a little, tiny kid with this thing and expect them to have good success with it, because, that's a spinning blade there, and you could definitely hurt yourself, like I almost did just there. Trying to fly facing towards me, and I'm not the best helicopter guy. That orientation thing is definitely a bit much for me to grasp while I'm flying it, and especially talking to you and thinking about the whole thing. So I'm gonna come in with the tail to me, and you know what, let me see if I can demonstrate the automatic landing thing, which I might forget sometime because I don't have much stock, and I'm gonna put it in ground sensing. Then I'm going to hit the land button. Now it drifted a little bit, but I adjusted it back to the concrete. And that's the thing you got to worry about. You could tip it over. It does stop eventually on its own, but it might tip over. So you might want to keep your finger on this little lock switch, hit that, and then you're safe. All right, folks, that's all I got to say about this Airwolf. It's pretty cool. We're probably going to put more flight time on it. Maybe I'll get another video or so of it if need be, if I think I don't have enough. Maybe I might try to reenact one of the little TV show scenes if I can figure out something. So thanks for watching. Pooley out. I'm 100% big into these cases being nice and storing anything with a case like this. That's a good box to store. And this is not a case, it's just a box. But I was wondering, when I mentioned these side stabilizers, I said that you probably couldn't put them in the box with them on. Boom, there it is. You don't have to ever take those off. It fits in the box with them on.